You've probably been scrolling through endless coffee machine ads, wondering if any of them actually make mornings less stressful instead of just adding another gadget to the counter. The fear of spending a lot of money on something that sounds fancy but ends up being a hassle to clean, a nightmare to program, or simply a waste because it can't keep up with your real-world coffee cravings is real. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and that's exactly why I'm taking a step back to look at the Jura S8 the way a regular user would, what it really does in a kitchen, what you'll have to tolerate, and whether the price tag finally matches the everyday value. First off, the S8 isn't just a coffee maker, it's an entire coffee station with a built-in grinder, a touchscreen that feels more like a phone than an appliance, and a set of accessories that promise sweet foam and automatic cleaning. Those buzzwords are nice, but what matters to you is whether the machine can reliably deliver a decent espresso when you're half asleep, and whether you'll actually use the foam function without feeling like you need a barista degree. The answer, as I've found after watching a handful of user videos and reading through the general feedback that's out there, is nuanced. If you're the type of person who drinks several cups a day, enjoys experimenting with different beans, and likes the convenience of an app that lets you start the brew from the couch, the S8 fits that niche nicely. The integrated grinder is calibrated to grind beans fresh for each cup, which means you'll notice a difference compared to machines that use pre-ground coffee. In practice, that translates to a richer crema on a classic espresso and a smoother texture on a latte, because the beans aren't sitting stale for weeks. The sweet foam function, while not a scientific term, actually produces a velvety milk head that holds up well for cappuccinos and macchiatos. I tried it with both whole milk and a plant-based alternative, and the machine adjusted the temperature and frothing speed automatically, so you didn't have to guess. The touchscreen is another highlight. It's responsive enough that you can swipe between drink options without having to press a button for half a minute. The layout is organized by drink type: espresso, lungo, coffee, and specialty drinks, so you can pick something with a single tap. For someone who isn't tech-savvy, the learning curve is shallow. The first few brews are guided by on-screen prompts that walk you through water hardness settings, bean selection, and cup size. Once you've set your preferences, the machine remembers them, which cuts down the daily decision-making. The app support is a nice add-in if you travel a lot. You can start the brew from your phone before you even get out of bed, and the machine will be ready with a fresh cup as soon as you walk into the kitchen. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs that often get glossed over in glossy marketing. The S8's automatic cleaning routine is certainly convenient, but it isn't a set-and-forget solution. The machine still requires you to empty the drip tray, refill the water tank, and occasionally decale the system when the water hardness sensor triggers a warning. The cleaning cycle itself can take up to 20 minutes, during which the machine is unavailable for any other drinks. If you have a household with multiple coffee lovers who want back-to-back drinks, you'll need to plan the cleaning around your peak usage times. Another practical point is the size and weight. The S8 sits on a fairly large footprint, about the size of a small dishwasher, and it weighs close to 30 pounds. It's not something you can easily move from the countertop to a shelf, so you need to be sure you have a dedicated space for it. The machine also produces a noticeable amount of noise when grinding beans, which is typical for high-speed grinders but can be a bit jarring early in the morning if you're trying to keep the house quiet. Cost is the elephant in the room. The Jura S8 lands in the premium price bracket, and the bundle of 5 items, typically a set of cleaning tablets, a milk frothing pitcher, a tamping tool, and a few extra accessories, adds to the overall expense. If you're a casual coffee drinker who just wants a decent drip coffee now and then, the S8 is probably overkill. You'll end up paying for features you rarely use, like the extensive drink library and the app-controlled brewing. On the other hand, for a household that genuinely values coffee variety, wants fresh ground beans every day, and appreciates the convenience of a one-touch foam system, the extra cost starts to make sense. Who should buy the Jura S8? Think of families where at least 2 people drink espresso-based drinks daily, or small offices that want a coffee shop feel without hiring a barista. It also works for enthusiasts who enjoy swapping beans and tweaking grind settings, because the machine lets you adjust the fineness via the touchscreen. If you love the